For the first time this season, I got accosted by a store manager here at the Walmart. Look how ugly this entrance is. Hopefully we'll find some nicer looking Halloween merchandise. I'm actually quite surprised by the display. I took these sort of panning shots at the end after having been accosted by the store manager. So I didn't really get a chance to showcase all of the display, but I thought it actually looked pretty nice around the store. So to start off, let's take a look at this posable skeleton, the 5-foot. I like to compare these amongst all the stores. And this one is only $29, so I do like that price point. That's one of the lower ones that we have seen throughout the season so far, so I'm happy about that. I also see that they've got a lot of that sort of occultish, Wiccan, witch sort of decor. As you can see with the moon phases and that sort of moth. For some reason, I'm a little surprised by that. I kind of feel like the merchandise here at Walmart tends to be a little bit more generic, family-friendly. More on the realm of here is an ugly little witch figurine instead of actual. Here's a spell book type prop. But I'm happy to see it regardless, since I'm doing witches in my house this year. And in fact, there is some witch decor that I ended up going home with, so I'll share that with you once we get to it. But first we have to man all of these shelves, and it's going to take a while to get through it all because it's a bunch of hodgepodge. I wish I could say it's a bunch of hocus pocus, but it's not. It's just like mountains of stuff. Naturally, now that I said that, we see some open space here on the pegboards where things are neatly placed, but this is the exception to the rule, not the rule itself. Anyway, let's see what we've got going on. This is some sort of garland. The packaging is on these things are awful. You can't really see what's going on with that. I think it is witches' hats. Not really sure, but we're going to move on. All right, some masks here. We'll see some more masks at the end. We're not going to do a whole tour of the costumes. You know, that's not really my thing. Most of our tour today is going to focus on the Halloween decor. There will be a little bit of the clothing there at the end as well. And we will actually see some of the masks because they actually had some pretty good ones this year. I actually own a couple of those glitter pumpkin jack-o'-lanterns. I bought them one of my first years decorating in this house. So it had to have been 10, 12 years ago. They were $5 then, so I'm actually kind of impressed that it was only $6 something now. Inflation seems to be a little bit staved off here at the Walmart, so I'm happy about that. Like the wall decor, the decals and whatnot, kind of reminiscent of stuff we've seen at Target. I don't know if they normally sold those in the past, but they definitely have always sold these gel clings. You know, I'm not a fan of these. Every time we see them in a video, I gotta point out those things are gonna stain your windows if you put them on them. I'm sure it's not hard to get it off, but it's just one of those little irritations that bothers me. Now we just saw a skull. Here is a jack-o'-lantern. Those were some of those scent warmers. Kind of like the idea of those. I was tempted to get that skull one, but then again, we were just talking in the last video about the candles, and I always want all the candles that I see, so I'm not sure why I wouldn't just buy a candle. But then I have candles that I never fully get through, and then they sit half burnt on my coffee table, just looking terrible. I like those candles that have the covers on it that can just make it look nice when you aren't using it. So I wasn't really sure what that was. I think that's like a glow-in-the-dark spray for like a window or something that you can draw on. It's a neat idea. So I think we just passed, I wasn't paying attention, I apologize. There on the left you can kind of see it. They had the oversized skeletons here as well. I think it's about 7 feet tall. Nice lighting effects on that jack-o'-lantern. I actually have that hanging Reaper. Bought so many years ago as well. Love these eyeball, this little sort of decorative ball set. I was very tempted to get that as well. Just not really sure I have room or anywhere to put it this year, but I really like the idea of it. I'm kind of tempted since it was, I think it was like 20 bucks, wasn't it? Not a terrible price. I wouldn't have minded if it were half that though. All right, a couple of door covers. So this looks like a cat. I did look through the whole box there to see if there were different designs. There weren't. Some sort of little mini ghost that changes colors for $5. The packaging on that is just so cheap, but maybe that's where they're saving the money and passing it along to us. Who knows?
Only Darkness awaits you.
I actually kind of like the details around that opening of that jack-o'-lantern sort of diorama thing. All sorts of lighting options for you. 100 pack of string lights, looks like it's $5 or $6, so that's not bad. Really love that sort of neon effect ghost. Of course, we've got other animal skeletons. We've got all the normal ones, the cat, the dog, the spider, and then, of course, we have Dumbo. At least, I'm not sure if it's supposed to look like Dumbo, but come on, I think we can all infer that. It's not just an elephant. And I think that cat, I think that's a cat with a little bit more of a cartoony head. Bag of bones, $11.50. I bought one, was it last year? I think it was last year for about $12. I like that they sell the little assortment of body parts all in one, so that's nice. Drop spider, I have that as well. Bought a lot of these props way back in the day. I never think that drop spider worked properly, so can't say that I recommend it. All right, we got some plastic chains hiding back there, and a couple of little yard stakes, I guess, a little boo. That was kind of cute. We've got some spider webbing. Love the little light up eyes for, you know, the bushes or whatnot. There's lots of DIY options for those. Little bottle of blood. Definitely don't want to get that on any clothes or anything. It's going to stain like mad. What they really need to make is like blood in a bottle like that you can pour wherever you want, but it would just like instantly turn into like a rubber, and that you could just peel it up and throw it away when you're done. Whoever would invent that, you'd get all my Halloween money. All right, we've got some fogging options and then even a little cauldron mister. So I ended up actually buying that cauldron mister partly because I wanted a misting cauldron on my witch kitchen area where I'll be having some other cauldrons, but also because I felt the obligation to buy something after being accosted by the Walmart manager. But anyway, like I said, I am doing witches throughout my house this year. If you're not familiar with my videos, I do try and do different displays inside and out every year. Mix it up at least a little bit. We have done witches inside in the past, but not throughout the entire area of my decorating inside, which is my living room, kitchen, and dining area. So we'll see how that goes. But I was looking for the perfect cauldron for my kitchen area, and we have seen some cauldrons throughout. Oh, I like this little witch light display right there. That's a different take on those things. Anyway, back to the cauldrons. I actually purchased the Home Depot cauldron this year, but it got lost in shipment, so they ended up refunding it. I was very disappointed about that, but you know, a lot of people online say they don't like it. It looks cheap, fake, plasticky, whatever. So I was a little unsure if I was going to buy it, and then I decided, yes, I am going to go ahead and buy it. And then we just did the Target walkthrough a couple of days ago. By the way, I bought those similar candles from the Dollar Tree many years ago. I've used them all the time. Added my own little blood effect. It's nice to see that they have made their own now. But anyway, so in Target the other day, they had a different cauldron. We only saw it for like a few seconds in the video, but the more I think about it, I think I'm going to go with that one because it has an actual bowl area where you can put something in it. And I'm thinking I'm going to have this cauldron on my kitchen counter so that when we have our party and people are milling in the kitchen, that's where I can have some drinks or something inside the cauldron, which, I don't know, fun little effect. And I'll have some other cauldrons around it, including that misting cauldron. So, long story long, that's part of my Halloween decorating plan this year. I actually, someone else gave me in one of the comments on my CVS video yesterday a good idea. So someone commented that the 6-foot floating ghost, I can't remember what they said exactly, but something about it probably is going to look terrible in real life. Someone should test that. So I think I'm going to be the one to test it. I'm probably going to go back and pick that up. I looked at the pricing. That's the great thing about these walkthroughs. So if you aren't familiar with my channel, please take a moment to like and subscribe, because we do all of these store walkthroughs just for this purpose. We can see all of this merchandise, help decide in advance what we want, save us some time so we're not shopping all over the place. And then if you need to go back and remind yourself like I did with the CVS Witch yesterday, I just looked back in the video to see how much did that cost. which I am a little surprised. It was $129. Okay, I'm a little, I wish it were more like in the $100 range, but I'm still probably going to get it. I wonder if they have any coupons. If anybody knows any sort of % off coupon things for CVS, because I don't ever really shop there, let me know in the comments below. Help a guy out. My Halloween display this year is getting out of hand, especially with YouTube revenue at like an all-time low. Usually, I barely break even on all the things that I purchase for Halloween with my YouTube revenue. I don't think that's going to happen this year. But maybe I can get some sponsors once the channel hits 100,000 subscribers. So if you haven't taken a moment to subscribe, help a guy out. I've been stuck at 90 to 91,000 subscribers for like 2 years. I actually think I might hit 92,000 subscribers this year. And of course, once Halloween passes, it'll start dropping off again, as usual, through attrition. I usually lose over 1,000 subscribers between the end of Halloween and, summer of the next year. We'll see, but 91, I think, is the highest I ever got, so I think making it to 92 will be a plus this year. Of course, here I am babbling. We've just made our way past all of these inflatables. They do have so many options this year. Nothing really stands out all that much except for the archway, which I kind of liked. I'm assuming that we've already seen it. Again, I was babbling so much I barely paid attention to what we've been looking at. But there was a kind of a neat archway. I think one of them said Happy Haunting. Not an archway, but just one of the other inflatables, which always, of course, grabs my eye. Love the little light-up Chucky. That guy is so cute. And then got a couple little block arts, and then so many like blow mold figures. This seems to be like a 3 set, so I think all of the Sanderson sisters are all wired together, which kind of makes it a little hard to put here in this display. But I assume they probably all light up together as well. It'd be neat if they did some sort of show or like a lighting blinking effect or something, but who knows, because we can't test it. I got some Jack Skellington and Sally little light up pumpkins back there, and then some dolls. This must be the licensed section. We've got Disney. We've got, oh, there's a little Pennywise. I like him. And little Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty and Pennywise next to each other, of course, because why not? I really like that Welcome to Derry sign with the face of Pennywise creeping up behind it. It's just kind of creepy. You could kind of put that anywhere. All right, lots more blow molds. I do like that skeleton with the top hat. Very dapper, and I guess that jack-o'-lantern kind of has a top hat as well, but in kind of like a country bumpkin sort of way. Every time I see a jack-o'-lantern and top hat, I think I've said this in a previous video too, it reminds me of like a mayor of Pumpkin Town. But then when they've got like the patches and whatnot, makes it look like a little scarecrow, I think it's a little too country for me. All the ghouls love me. Something like that, I guess. Here we go. Happy Haunting. I was very tempted to get that. I love bats. I love that bat decor. This is the area that was right by the front door, which I think has kind of the better merchandise. I don't know why. I assumed that the stuff at the front door was like the cheaper merchandise, but I liked it a lot better. So there were clear like ornaments that you can use in your cauldrons. I think that was a great idea. Somebody should have thought of that a long time ago. Of course, I know we've all been doing it, but I haven't really seen any for sale like that before. I know I've used shades of green in one of my cauldrons before to do that. This is the cut point where the manager came over and talked to me. Actually, she didn't tell me to stop, so I'll give her credit for that. But she came up to me like, "Can I help you?" I'm like, "No." And then I kind of, she kind of backed off a little bit because I guess I was a little abrasive, which I try not to be, but I was just thinking like, I'm getting kicked out, so I don't care. But I followed up and just said, I was filming some Halloween content or taking some pictures of some Halloween content for a friend. You're my friend, right, out there? At least you are if you've subscribed. If you have heard me beg at least 3 or 4 times in this video at this point, I'm very disappointed in you if you haven't hit subscribe yet. Anyway, I did ask the manager if it was okay that I was filming, of course for my friends, and she said it was fine. Like, oh, okay, great. But then why did you come accost me? I don't know. Anyway, so here's some more stuff. At this point, I was a little frazzled. I'm not good with confrontation at all in any way, which is why in my videos I usually try and avoid staff at all costs. But we've made it through most of the stores at this point. So I know Walmart was one of our last big stores that I wanted to tour with you guys. But don't worry, there are still, I think, like 10 or so on my list to do. I've got one that I started filming when I had my food poisoning the other week that like knocked me out for a week, which is why we had a little stretch of no videos. Apologize for that. We've got a lot of catching up to do. But I went to a particular store. I'm not going to reveal it since I don't think I've seen anyone else do it yet. And I thought I was filming, but I was just walking around, I guess, holding my camera up to merchandise without actually recording anything. And I was getting the stink eye from a cashier. So I did not want to continue and redo it all over again. But we will be making our way back there hopefully this week, might even be tomorrow, so that we can hopefully have a different non-stink-eyed cashier. And I can get that content out to you. Because this is actually, I love doing all of these store walkthrough videos. We've been doing them now for 7 years. Can you believe it? 7 years of all these walkthroughs. And if you know me in real life, I have this crippling anxiety and definitely don't want to talk to people, especially store managers or staff that come up and want to help me. Absolutely not. Thank you. But these are the things that I do for you guys. You know how I feel about these velvet pumpkins, and then we have velvet skulls, and now we have velvet sort of nutcracker looking things. I don't know what that is all about, but oh my gosh, please spare me. I do like the different colors of pumpkins there. And then we've got some pink and green glittery pumpkins. I'm starting to get a little concerned about where we're going in this section, but oh, I love this little cat that had the little infinity mirror. But look at these. So we've got the disco ghosts. It's giving me vibes of Michael's. What was that? I did check the tag and it had a Halloween label, so not really sure what that was. It kind of looked like some sort of vase or candle stand, but nothing Halloween. It was pink and green. Pink and green don't necessarily scream Halloween. I think there needs to be something a little bit more to it if you're going to throw it in the Halloween section. All right, skimming past a lot of this stuff. A lot of it's little bits of junk. Not really sure what we're looking at. I like those actually kind of little ghost glasses were kind of cool. But this is kind of like the stuff that you'd put in like trick-or-treat bags, whatnot. Love the little eyeball pillow. This little balloon animal dog has a tramp stamp of a bat. That's different. Sorry for the long pause looking at this skull. I was trying to figure out what is that? What is coming out of the top of its head? Apparently they're shooters. I'm not much of a drinker, so a lot of that is just lost on me. Like the little wine bag that says trick or treat. If anybody wants to send me some fancy Halloween wine, you can throw it in a little bag like that. I wouldn't mind. And here we're getting to some of the clothing. There is still just a little bit of Halloween merchandise left, but I walked past those slippers and I absolutely love them. Ones that had little spider legs, ones that looked like little witch shoes. Look, everybody wants these skeletons holding the coffin. Here's an option for you that was only $88. That might be the cheapest I've seen that anywhere. And then, of course, we have the party supplies. So still 97 cents, for the plates. Now I'm wondering, I should have looked closer to see how many plates were in there, because you could buy these plates for years and years now at the same price. And that just seems sketchy to me. I'm sure they've got to make up their difference somewhere, and I bet it's in the quantity of the plates. Of course, we got the skeleton hands holding the cup. I've seen that everywhere. Love this Wicked tray. And Something Wicked This Way comes with the skulls on the side. Absolutely gorgeous, but once you put something on the tray, you lose all that wording. I kind of wish they had just put it around the edges of the tray. But again, I loved the skulls. So lots of food type items. I love making Halloween cupcakes myself and finding all the little nifty things that you can put on them to make them more Halloween. Like I love putting the little candy knives in them and then the red food coloring all over to make them look like they bleed. Here we've got some games. So, or are those crafts? I'm not really sure. Probably should have got a little closer with my camera there. I apologize. Here are some games like the inflatable bowling. I kind of wish I bought that because I do have a bowling set I put out for the kids every year for our Halloween party. And it's so bulky. It takes up so much room. A little inflatable set would be great. The salt and pepper shaker was kind of interesting. Like one tall, I guess the tall is, would that be the pepper or the salt? I don't know. And then the short one would be the other, I guess. So here are the costume aisles. We're not getting a real close look at them. Again, I apologize. We're just going to skim. I just want to give you an idea of the things that they have if you are interested in getting a Halloween costume. I didn't see anything really for adults. A couple little props. And then, of course, they've got interesting masks. Let's take a closer look. I like that. What is that supposed to be? Like a dragon or something on the end, and then a skeleton. We've got a little baby doll face, and I guess those masks I think are from like The Purge or something, aren't they? I'm sure someone will leave me a comment below, as usual, telling me how wrong I am on everything. That's okay. We all make mistakes. Ooh, look how scary that mask is. And then we've got some wigs, and of course, if you want to be Ghostface, you got 100 different options for that. Some Halloween pails and whatnot. Let's take a quick peek through some of the clothing because I love getting my Halloween t-shirts every year. They had a big selection here at Walmart. I didn't actually skim through all of them because my hands were full carrying that misting cauldron, and I actually bought a bunch of cards here too that were only 98 cents. So it was hard to move everything around, but I loved that little Miss Halloween sash on that one. It's kind of like a skeletal beauty queen. Can't go wrong with one of those. Sweatshirts here too as well. A couple more t-shirts there. A few more designs. I actually bought that one with the skull. And then you want to look where they've got these cube units because they had interesting designs there as well. I bought the Beetlejuice one. I really liked that Nightmare Before Christmas one, but they aren't all out on the racks. You got to look around. In the stationery area, you can get your wrapping papers and gift bags. Of course, if anybody wants to send me a Halloween gift bag, you're more than welcome to. I'll give you my address. But here are the Halloween cards. I guess I jumped the gun talking about them earlier. 98 cents, same price you can get them at the Dollar Tree these days. And look, the Better Homes and Gardens used to be my favorite Halloween magazine aside from the Martha Stewarts, which don't exist anymore. But I think this has gone a little bit downhill as well. They used to have such good material in them, but nothing in it really looks inspiring this year. Before we go, I did want to say a special thank you to all the patrons who help support the channel. If you're interested in joining my Fright Club, be sure to check out a link to my Patreon page in the description below. And that is going to do it for today. Like I said, we do have a couple more store walkthroughs to get through, and then I've got a bunch of animatronics and products that I want to review with you as soon as we're done with the store walkthroughs. We got a lot of stuff to get through before Halloween, and then of course the big walkthrough reveals. So till then, take care everyone, and happy haunting.